Join the legendary Force MDs in the morning, along with Dr. Pebbly Pooh, the first female hip-hop soloist, in the mornings on the Force MDs Morning Show, featuring Dr. Pebbly Pooh, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, live on Facebook or on Uni TV and radio on the Force MDs page.
Sometimes this thing will cut us off if we start showing stuff, and we don't want to do that right now. So we're gonna be bringing Monie Love on in 2 minutes, y'all.
Just like our life everlasting.
Hey, so again, everybody, thanks for tuning in early, everybody. Today, y'all are on here. It was good to see Monie in the middle. That's right. Hey, Tamia, you ain't saying Monie's name right. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
She said Momo. You know what I mean?
Momo.
Listen, I know you can't read, Khalil, but you're not supposed to tell everybody that.
From you, Tamia, from Monie. She said, fall back a little bit on that. You know what I mean?
My God.
Okay, we're gonna bring Monie in right now, y'all, because she said Janet said she loves some Monie. She loves Monie. You know what I mean? That's my jam. That's my jam. Monie in the middle.
Where's she at?
Huh?
Where's she at? In the middle.
Yeah.
Every time you say that, I can't help but say that.
You cannot read, Negro. Oh boy, you should have said that because we was doing good before you just came.
Get
on.
him,
Let me tell you something right now. We're gonna get you next. I'm
gonna bring Monie on in a minute.
So just relax while we get this thing going here.
Have a drink before Monie come on. Have a drink before Monie come on. Have a drink. I can't wait.
Yo, kaboom! What up, kaboom?
Kaboom! Look who stepped in the room. I'm coming from the shell and I.
Yo, listen, I threw on a little early. Hold on.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
Monie.
Monie. What's up, boo-boo?
Oh, wow.
Yo.
So wait, let me start by saying this. Thank you for having me, all of you. Thank you, Khalil. Thank you, Stevie D. Pebbly Pooh, you do realize who and what you are to me, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, okay. I do. Listen,
I just want to make clear. Do you want to tell the guys, or do you want me to tell the guys?
You tell the guys. You tell them.
Okay, so when I first came to this country, Khalil and Steve, right? When I first got here,
yes, I love that.
Go learning the ropes, going around different borough to borough, understanding, just getting my feet fully wet into the country of the birthplace and actually the borough of the birthplace of hip hop, right? And so Bam was showing me around and stuff, and not only Bam, but several people said, you know who you remind us of? And I was like, no. And they said Pebbly Pooh. Right.
Wow.
And so I did my homework, right? And from listening to Pebbly's music and her style and her flow and her cadence and all of these things, like I really get into that. And in doing my homework, I was like, you know what? If somebody was to write a book about the family tree of MCs and where everybody falls upon that family tree, and as far as their style and who they are, you can find out and trace back who they evolved from style-wise. For me, it would be Pebbly Pooh. Yeah, and so the day that I met her, she'll tell you I almost passed out.
Yes.
The actual day that I met Pebbly Pooh, I was like, I swear to God, you see people when they see Michael Jackson and they want to faint and cry and all of these things. That was me. I kid you not. When I met Pebbly Pooh for the first time, I was like, oh my God, it was sick.
Yes. And you know what? I've loved her ever since. Like I tell everybody, I was like, Monie is my baby. I love her. And then, I tell everybody, no matter what, your name means everything. You ain't got to be nowhere around, but somebody must say your name, and you have done that. And I love you to the fifth power, because everybody was like, Monie said your name. Monie said your name. I was like, where?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's because that's my hip hop heritage. Pebbly Poo is my specific hip hop heritage. Like I said, if I had to fall somewhere on the family tree of MC styles, you know what I'm saying, I would fall under the family tree of Pebbly Poo.
And, you know,
Oh
and
my God.
I love that. I love that. And Moni, I'm saying, I'm really happy that, you know, every time you mention her name to all the young generation who don't know, it's educating them to make them look up Pebbly and see who she is, because she meant a lot in this hip hop game. And I get mad at the time people forget sometimes, like, hey, hold up, what about Pebbly Poo? You know, it hurts us because she's our she's our sister. She's our sister. And
Absolutely.
that means a lot to us when she gets recognized by people, you know, from her, you know, what she contributes to the whole hip hop culture. And
But you know what? But let me just say this. You know, we know Pebbly is a giant in our own space, but I think you need to realize too, Moni, that I was the one writing her rhymes.
I knew it.
I wrote all her goddamn rhymes. And Pooh, if you don't give me my goddamn props, we'll be fighting on Fordham Road. I don't care if they said male and female fight. We'll be fighting on Fordham Road. I'm telling you right now.
Let me tell you why he's mad. Because he's still wearing his Hello Kitty slippers. And I don't want to tell nobody, you know, but this is what he does. So I have to bring out the truth, you know. We gotta stop this shit.
Stop it!
Yo, slow down. Look, be careful. No, look, let's do a little backdrop, Moni, because whether you realize it or not, you know, you contributed a lot to the culture.
Yes.
And from a standpoint that you even coming from London here, we love your accent.
Love it.
Love your accent. You looking good. You looking young too. You look like you're in high school. Ma,
like
where's my book bag at, Ma?
You like 19 going on 20. 19 going on 20.
Listen. That high school comment and that looking young comment, I get that a lot. But I assure you, if I stand up and sit down a few times back to back next to you, you will hear my knees. You will hear them.
Yo, Moni, let me tell you something. I've been watching you do your damn thing, girl. I'm so proud of you. I seen you on Little Women. I said, oh my God, that's right. That's right, boo. Help him out. Help him out. Amazing. And now you on marriage boot camp. And let me tell you the best part that I love, because I ain't gonna go into the other stuff. But let me tell you the best part. When the rhyming had to come in, when they said, oh, you gotta rhyme. Yo, I said, watch my baby. I was telling my daughter, I was like, watch my baby, watch this. Yo, you
I was not about to get up there and shame you. I was not about to get up there when I realized that we walked into a situation where it was going to be a rap battle and you had to battle your partners. And you see, my partner is an MC. Granted, he's not known to the public yet, but he's actually magnificent. He's a wordsmith. He's one of the best MCs I've ever heard in my life, right?
What?
Yeah, I'm not just saying that because we have a child, you know what I'm saying? I'm just
right.
But the bottom line is, when I walked into that situation and saw that it was a rhyme battle, immediately I went into my tool bag. And I'm trying to tell you, Pebbly, you are on the front of mind constantly when I'm put on a place and I have to be ready. Man. You are constantly front of mind. So I'm standing there and I'm like, I'm gonna dip into my Pebbly bag right now, my Pebbly tool bag right now, right?
Oh my God.
And I understood the assignment, Stevie. I understood the assignment, Khalil. I was like, nah. And then I saw his little, when he said, you know, Tough said his little thing about, you know, I know Mo has a lot to say. She's not going to be able to get all of it off.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Like that. Like that.
He must have forgot that I'm the person that takes a million words and is able to squish them up into a certain amount of bars. And you can still know what I'm saying. It's very clear. My clarity is there. So I was like, you must really forget who I am. So
everybody's mouth was like,
I got a question. Mo. How did you meet Queen Latifah?
I met Queen Latifah because, and now you guys, all of you know this person. Do you remember Dave Funkenklein?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
Dave was pretty much like an ambassador of hip hop during those early days. He was bringing groups from the United States to England and doing like smaller mini tour runs in smaller venues. But it was really like the grassroots work of exposing outside US markets to hip hop. He was really a leader in that. And he came over with a mini tour consisting of Latifah, True Mathematics, Chill Rob G, and the Jungle Brothers.
Wow.
And I met Dave Funkenklein at the club. I went to see these acts, and then Dave Funkenklein was introduced to me by the person that runs the club, because it was a club that I had, like our 8 Mile, like our spot where we would go to and be rhyming against each other and stuff like that. You know, like how in 8 Mile, the movie, you know what I'm saying? So that was our spot like that. So the owner of the club introduced me, because I was one of the resident MCs there, that would, little kids MCs, you know, 16, 17 years old, that would get there and get on the mic. He introduced me to Dave Funkenklein, and then Dave Funkenklein introduced me to the acts that he brought over. So I became Latifah and I became fast friends. This was like 87.
Wow, that is crazy. Now, I'm sorry, Carla.
No, Steve.
You know, us Latifah, we was all on the same record label, Tommy Boy Records.
Yeah.
Did at one time, I'm assuming, I'm guessing, but did Tommy Boy want to sign you at one time? Like,
yeah.
I knew it. I knew it. This is the Pebbly. I'm just assuming this because she was so good on Latifah's record with Latifah. I'm looking at Tommy. I can see Tommy going, "Hey, I had to give her 2 on here." So,
but here's the thing: Benny Medina already beat everybody to it, and snatched me up for Warner Brothers.
Right, good. Yeah, because I know he's definitely offered more money than Tommy. But I ain't gonna do that. But yeah, that's good though. I'm happy you did that.
So Monie, how old were you when you first came to the States?
17, going on 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
You came by yourself, or did your parents come with you? How did you come?
No, I moved by myself. I asked my parents' permission. I had 2 separate record deals. I had a record deal with a label in England for the UK and Europe. And then Benny Medina signed me to a separate deal for the United States and Canada. So when that happened, I moved from the UK to the US to complete an album. And my parents had to sign my contract, because I actually signed my recording. Well, the UK side of my contract I signed when I was 16, and my parents had to sign that for me. And then the US side, my parents had to joint sign that with me also, because I was so young. And they basically was like, you know, we totally support your pursuit for you know, follow your dream or what have you. So they did. And I came by myself, but I had family that lived here. Like my paternal grandparents lived in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So yeah, all right, it makes sense. I thought you came in here by yourself. You know, it's just like, where am I going? And, you know.
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
Where Pebbly Pooh live at again? what train to a house? What train do I need to take to a house?
No, sir. I was my grandparents. Yeah, my grandparents lived on East 28th Street between Clarendon and Cotillion.
Do you have any Jamaican roots?
My whole family's Jamaican.
I knew it.
What the guy? You say what, man?
Yeah,
Everybody.
I am actually the first generation of my family born outside of Jamaica. My whole family.
You say so.
No, Monie, check this out.
Say it's not so, woman.
Check it out, Monie. When we first went to our first, this is deep Force MD shit you didn't know. Our first time getting on a plane ever in our life, the whole Force MD's group, we flew to London, England. That was our first ever getting on a plane, right, Carlo?
Wow.
First getting on a plane. Now look, we came to London. It was like a whole other world to us, but we couldn't believe this. How come there's so many Jamaicans out here? Like, Jamaica, the dreadlocks, Indian, like people are Indian, talking, got Jamaican accents. It was like, It's this. We didn't think it was like that out there.
But
It really
did you come to then understand why there was such a large community there?
No, we didn't know.
All right, let me break it down real quick for you.
Yes.
Which common sense, actually, you probably know this now, but when you were there, you probably didn't realize it. Colonization, baby. That's what it was.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's why there was such a large community of West Indians. So whether it be Jamaica, whether it be Trinidad, whether it be Grenada, whether it be St. Lucia, whether it be St. Kitts, whether it be St. Croix, whether it be like a host of islands, right? Because of colonization, because they were all part of the British Commonwealth. And after the Second World War, there was a lot of manpower that was just deceased. A lot of manpower had died. You know, they needed to rebuild the country. So the United Kingdom reached out to its Commonwealth, which are all the countries that were colonies of the United Kingdom, and invited manpower to come over. So men from all of these islands, part of the British Commonwealth, were coming to England for, you know, a new life and you know, a new chance and to build this and to build that. And so my grandfather, my mother's father, was among those men that left Jamaica and went to England. And so what I'm telling you, as far as my family, you have to think there are millions of other families where their head grandfather or whoever came over during that time and then started building a life and then sent their children. My mother was the youngest, not the youngest, she was of the 5 youngest. So she had to eventually go to England. There were 5 children because my grandparents had 10, because, you know, they had so many children back then.
Right, yeah, right. We know, yeah, I know.
The first 5 were already adults, so they stayed in Jamaica. But the second 5 out of my grandparents' children on my mother's side, included her, she went to England when she was 14. She met my father in England. He was there, same vibe, right? And then that's how my brother and I are the first generation of our Jamaican family born outside of Jamaica. But that, cut a long story short, is why there's so many people from West Indian backgrounds in the United Kingdom.
Wow. That is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you know what? I don't know. Has anybody here been to that African Museum in DC?
I have not. I heard about it though.
Phenomenal, and I'm relating that to what you're saying right now, because it breaks down in there. Because it's like 4 floors. It breaks down how many people were sent to England, how many slaves were sent to England, to Portuguese, to you know what I mean, like how many slaves they took from different parts of Africa.
Because here's the thing, right? With England, the population of slaves in England wasn't so large. It wasn't so large, and that's because the British financed the transatlantic slave trade.
That's right.
To man their territories outside of England. So they didn't need that many slaves in England. They needed them on the cane fields in Jamaica and the cotton field in the United States. And you know, so that's why there's large slave trade everywhere else but England. It was a very small amount of slaves that were probably servants and things like that, because the work was for the British Empire was being done elsewhere. You know, they used to be this saying that the sun never sets upon the British Empire. And
I remember that.
So vast and so large that somewhere in the British Empire it would be daytime all the time.
Oh my God! Yo, Monie, I love your voice. The accent is so dope. Oh man,
love it.
Yeah, hey, now Monie, people, I don't know if people, like all our listeners out there. Now Monie is a radio personality also. With Chubb Rock. You with Chubb Rock, right? You with Chubb Rock? Or,
no, Chubb and I are in the same market though, but we're not on the same. Yeah, we're not on the same stations.
Okay, yeah, she do the radio thing too. Yeah, that's right. She got that voice. She sounds really.
I know. I sound like some type of school teacher right now talking about colonization and the transatlantic slave trade.
We are like this. We are like this. Talking, Monie.
I did. Monie went to the Khalil Broadcasting School.
Yes, that part.
she was one of my brightest students, and I can tell you,
See
and
that?
what made it so unique and sweet that everybody fell in love with her is because of her accent, and she was very
Absolutely.
witty.
You see, what you need to understand
Yeah.
also is Khalil had a program going at Wingate High School that I attended in 1986.
Flatbush, Brooklyn,
Right?
Okay.
And it was a program for communications, and I made sure that I got a seat in that program in that class.
That's right.
Monie, you my people for life. But see, at least Monie, unlike Pebbly, you know what I mean, is acknowledging, these contributions that was made in a career by Khalil. But
listen.
unlike Pebbly, she wants to
Let me tell you
Oh
something.
my
her
God.
first
Let
two
me tell you
rhymes.
something.
Pebbly, you ain't getting away with this shit. Pebbly, you ain't getting away with this shit, Pebbly. I wrote your first two goddamn rhymes, and you still ain't told nobody yet.
Yo,
Tell Monie Love, I wrote your first two rhymes, Pebbly.
look. Khalil
Shit.
is such a problem child. Even when he's little. Let me just explain. He has road rage in the car. And I'll be like, look at him, and I'll be like, Khalil, these people can't hear you. Do you know that he practices road rage in his garage? Yo, he has road rage greatest hits.
I'll get you, Beverly.
The greatest, not the greatest hits.
Yes, road rage greatest hits.
No, listen. So, Monie, you get to the States, you're a bright young star. Record companies are chasing you down. You sign with a record company. You put out your first record. What was that whole experience like for our listeners?
It was an adventure. Every day was an adventure I
Hold
welcomed.
on, Monie. My cousin he's on parole. He just got out of jail. He just got out of jail. We just put him. He's on parole still. So he's still on parole. So
you guys be cutting up in the morning.
I'm sorry, Monie, get it, because he's still on parole. You all right? Don't say that. You got the handcuffs on? You got the braces on. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. They'll take it off later. But this is our brother Guy.
Guy Routine. Guy Routine.
I'm sorry, Monie. I didn't mean to cut you off. But go ahead, Monie.
But no, I was just saying. I forgot what I was bloody saying now.
It was an experience. It was when
About
you
this
first
person.
got out.
Yes. Okay, so I was 18 and everything started happening. I was on the front of every magazine, best thing since sliced bread. And honestly, it was an adventure that I didn't take for advantage, for granted. I didn't take advantage of it. I didn't take it for granted. I just kind of made sure that I remained grounded in everything. Like I didn't start showing up late, like, oh, I've arrived. It was just a really cool adventure. Everything was cool. Oh, you're going to be doing Arsenio today. Cool. Oh, you're gonna be doing this show. You're gonna be doing Apollo. Oh,
Soul Train.
cool. I was very bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and just excited about everything. And I don't ever recall myself becoming besides myself, because I always felt like, okay, this is really cool, and I need to make sure that I practice promptness and humility and all of these things that my parents taught me, because everything's not going to be like this forever.
Forever. Right.
That's right. Okay, Monie, how did you get into the native tongue crew?
Well, okay. Well, that was, what's it called? What's the word? Nepotism? Is that the word? Yeah. Because I was dating Africa from the Jungle Brothers. So I mean, what do you expect? Like, oh, that's your crew? Oh, that's your crew? Oh, they dope. Oh, so what's up? Because what's up? Do make something happen for your girl. Like, what?
Yeah, you got on my
but
buddy.
you couldn't get in. You couldn't get in if you wasn't nice, though.
Yeah, that's the truth, though. You couldn't have gotten if you wasn't.
I wrote this in the comments. I wrote in the comments that you're one of my favorite MCs. Your flow and your pocket are so impeccable. Like when I first heard you bouncing on I was like, yo, who is this? Obviously the accent and everything, but where your pocket was, it was like, for me, the rules of MCing, but here too. And I recall very, vividly that yeah, what I wanted to know what market you're on in the radio.
In Atlanta. I'm on Kiss 104.1 in Atlanta. I'm yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm out here. I'm in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm on it. I'm on every day, 3 to 7 on Kiss.
Yeah, we got to do it.
Oh, nice. You got the prime slot, the drive time. But so a long time ago, I came up in the business. I used to run with Milk and Giz and Light. And so I have come across you many times on tour and stuff like that. And I just always thought you were just a really, really incredible MC. But
I just honestly used to like to stand near to where you were standing, like on the side of the stage or something, or wherever you were standing, because people would leave me alone if I stood next to you. I remember you. No, I remember you. I absolutely, and I remember looking like I'm gonna go stand next to him.
Yeah.
I used to roll. No, seriously, I used to roll with them on the road, and
yeah.
But it was just always an incredible MC, an incredible person. It's such a wonderful thing, as I see the Force as well, who raised me in the game. Finding different ways to still be in this game, and finding different ways to still be contributing, and having all this information and all this history. There's a bunch of people that are fans of yours, I'm sure, that have no idea what you do on the mic. You know what I'm saying? You're a radio personality to them, but as an MC, just impeccable. And I just want to make sure you got your flowers on that.
I appreciate that. No, we love it. All of us do. All of us pictured here. All of us on this show right now. We all love flowers. We don't like to ask for flowers. We like for it. We like, you know what I'm saying? No, seriously, we like for it to just be, you know what I'm saying? Because we come from that school of thought that says what's understood shouldn't have to be explained.
That's right.
That's the train of thought. All of us here this morning, we all come from that cloth, you know. So it's nice when we give it up for each other, and it's nice when outsiders recognize everybody's contributions. That's another thing we was talking about when I first got on the podcast, when I was talking about Pebbly, you know. And I think that that's something that it would be really pleasant to see it happen. Not for me per se, but it just the general vibe of if you don't know, it's okay not to know, but it's not okay not to research.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. I got a burning question, Monie Love. Monie Love. Got a burning question. Would it be on Monie Love's bucket list to make a song with Pebbly Pooh?
Let's do it. Let's do it, girl.
I mean, of course.
Listen,
that would actually bring home exactly what I explained earlier, in as far as I come from the school of Pebbly Pooh as far as my MC style. That would just actually bring it. That would bring it.
Hey,
home.
Monie,
I think that's an excellent idea.
Stop it.
Let's do it. Listen, Monie, I'm still nasty on the mic. Let's do it.
That's true.
Monie, I got Pebbly under the most tightest contract. That shit is not happening right now.
Why?
Let's go on to the next subject. The contract I got Pebbly on, she can't even breathe near the studio. If she breathes near the studio, it's a breathe near the studio. So Pebbly, don't get your juices flowing. Don't get all that. It's too early.
Monie,
let's just stick to what's going on here with Monie right now.
Eat hip hop. You understand? Let me tell you why.
I get it. I totally get it. Let me tell you this.
I had a stroke in 2018 in my sleep within 3 hours. And you couldn't have told, I didn't even know what a stroke was, but I'm a fighter. I've always been a fighter. And I got up and I'm still walking. I come to the studio, Khalil's looking at me and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what's wrong with me. Until I get to the hospital, they tell me what it was. Long story short, as the time going, I get better. I start, I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to microwave the situation, make me walk better. It's just my leg, my left side is like really crazy. And Khalil played my record that I did, Power in the Booty. And I sat right there, and I kid you not, it's like soon as the music of hip hop come on, for some reason it gives me that strength to actually do what I need to do.
Hey, yo, hold on. You ain't getting away with this bullshit today. Listen, we got Monie Love. Look, hey, Monie, look. Pebbly was going. Her leg was on some like, from the little stroke. It was on some like, it was little it was like wiggle. So Pebbly
like
would
no
come to
bone.
the studio. She had the iced out cane, like the pimped out cane, the glitter cane. And we having an interview and shit like that. We doing our thing in the studio, Monie. And I said, y'all hear that joint Pebbly Poo Power in the booty? And the people was like, yeah, we want to hear it. Monie, this is a fact of mother efferoni. You hear me? I threw it on Monie. All that stroke shit went out the window. Pebbly's like,
Trucking.
Hey, yo, Monie. Hey, you got to spirit your Monie. I waited for the whole interview to be over, waited for the lights to shut off and that. Yo, Pebbly, stop that bullshit. Stop that bullshit. Hey, look, hey, Monie, she got the cane walking out the station. Like, look. Stop that bullshit.
Oh my God.
I said, oh, shit. That record, hey, Steve, am I lying, Steve?
That's fact. That's fact.
No, that is the truth. That is the truth, Monie. That definitely is the truth. It's just like whatever's in your soul when that music come on, it's never gonna disappear.
Right.
It's something that goes through your body. You be like, that's what you like that funk. You know,
and Monie, and from that date on, she been like doing shows with us, opening up, doing shows with us. She gives a good stage show. Pebbly has a really good stage show. You got to see her in person get down. She be dazzling in the crowd.
Yo, Monie, I change clothes on stage.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Now that's definitely something. I admire you for that because I couldn't bring myself to do that.
Girl, listen, I snatched the wig off on stage. Okay.
Yes, word. She had the people go crazy.
Monie, look, we had to almost bail Pebbly out at one of the shows.
Oh my gosh!
No. Oh, we going there like that, Pooh? No. She changed clothes.
Oh,
God,
no.
I didn't call Guy about this. She changed clothes. She took off her motherfucking pink wig and hit somebody in the fucking head with the wig. It just kept going like this. We was like, Pooh, what the fuck? Instead of throwing the wig into the side of the stage, and she threw the wig off and it just hit the lady.
Knock a drink out. Yeah,
Okay.
I do got a couple of questions for questions for Monie Love since we got her here today because we really appreciate you taking the time out to sit here chatting with us. I'm not talking about Guy right there because they may mute the station because corrections. Maybe we might get a letter from corrections. But anyway, look. Look. But look, hey Monie, look. So, like, what's some of the challenging things that in your career that you learned from that you feel that you got the foresight now to give back to the up and coming generation about maintaining success, finance, and career, those things of that nature. What were some of the jewels that you want to drop?
Something that's always plagued, especially hip hop and hip hop artists, is the ability to stay grounded. It's there for some and it's not there for others. And a sad thing that I've seen transpire for many that the groundedness is not there for is they come to a place in life where the entourage is gone, the unlimited funds is gone. They find that what did I do when I did have unlimited funds? I didn't invest in anything. I didn't, and these are things that I'm fortunate enough to have not gone crazy when I was, the best thing since sliced bread. And also during that time when it was my high time at 18, I invested in areas where I took an interest so that there would be something left for me. Perhaps when my run in the forefront is over. right?
Mm.
And this is again not taking into consideration the switch that was going to happen, the viral explosion that was going to happen. Because to be quite honest with you, once you're in this business, there's not necessarily a reason for you to ever be out of this business. Not after the viral explosion. There's always ways that you can reinvent yourself and continue being a hip hop culturalist.
Mm.
Even if you're not necessarily an artist anymore, you can still find ways to be a culturalist and a preservationist to preserve the culture.
To preserve it, right.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, back then there were no signs of any of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but the one thing that was there is that sometimes people have the tendency to be not humble, to not show humility, and to think that I'm just going to be sitting on top of this mountain forever and ever and ever and ever. And so therefore I'm not contributing to anything. I'm not putting finances into anything to make a nest for later. I'm crapping on people. I'm talking to people like they're crap. So if I could say anything to younger people that are getting into the business right now, is it doesn't hurt to have an advisor. The greatest kings in history had advisors, and it doesn't hurt you to have an advisor that's perhaps been there, done that, and walked the road, to be able to give you some insight, not tell you what to do, but just give you some insight so you can make some educated decisions while you're young and while you're brand new in the business. You know what I mean?
They have tried us, though. You know, they have tried us. They had to see the other side of you at a point or two. Because some people think that they could just say whatever they want to say to you and think because you are a female that you can't go left. I have been left, right, tumbling. Yeah.
Well, you know, I had to learn to fight those battles too. Let me get centered. Okay. I had to learn how to fight those battles too earlier in the game, because I mean earlier in the game when I was first introduced to the business and videos and TV and stuff, it was like, we need to put makeup on you, and I was like, you're not putting that pork on my face. Like, I'm not putting that on my, you know. And that's where I mean, you had to tie me down in a straitjacket to put makeup on me, something as simple as that. But with the emerging, you know, HD cameras and all this extra technology, and like you could see the pores in my face, you know, I understand that now. And so now I'm like, okay, I understand that to work in some environments, TV work, a lot of TV work and stuff, I have to, you know, put some makeup on, because these cameras are unforgiving and they're all up in your business. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that. So these are battles that I had to kind of pick my battles and learn how to make some compromise and some understanding. The only thing I refused to do then, and I still refuse to do now, is I'm not a fleshy dresser. I never have been a fleshy dresser.
Right.
And I've been in situations where, you know, people have been like, oh, you need to wear this, you need to show a little bit more of that. And I was like, you do it. You do it.
Right.
That's not me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm a grandma. Before I was a grandma, which I am now, but before I was a grandma, I didn't even wear tank tops until after I had my first child, when I was like 21. I never wore tank tops. All of my t-shirts were like full sleeve t-shirts. I never wore tank tops. You know what I mean? So it's a personality thing with me too. Whereas I can't, it's not for me. It's not for me. Everything is not for everyone. And I'm just not I'm not the fleshy dresser.
No, but you know what? You don't need to be. Your personality, your persona, it's beautiful, you know, and everybody loves you. Everybody. Well, you know, to the ones that we know, you know, everybody loves you. You are so humble, you know, and I don't want you to ever change who you are.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking fleshy dresses. I mean, I've seen some people in some outfits that I've seen some women in some outfits that even as a woman, I look at it and I'm like, I'm never going to unsee that. I'm never going to unsee it.
Right.
That's just a work of art. It's magnificent. I'll just look at it and appreciate it, you know, but it's not for me.
Right.
Everything
is everybody. You know what I mean? It's not a one size fit all, you know. But at the end of the day, listen, don't you ever change. You're going to always be my baby at heart, no matter what. You need me, I'm there. I'm always going to mention you no matter what. I tell them all the time, that's my baby. I don't care what nobody says. I will crack a nigga jaw in 3 places, okay?
Hey,
why do we gotta go to violence, fam? Damn.
She chose violence. No, I'm with it. She chose violence. We gotta respect that.
Hey, Monie, you in the group alumni, right? With Chubb Rock, Special Ed, right?
Yes, that's our collective. We tour and perform as a collective, alumni, which is Chubb Rock, myself, Special Ed, Dana Dane, and Kwame. Yeah, and those shows are always interesting because it's like we have the blueprint of our show, what our show is, but it's never quite the same every night because the 2 variables of the group are Special Ed and Dana, and the shows get really interesting sometimes. Depending on whether they gave us alcohol in our green room before the show or after. It's always interesting. It's always a good show, though, that I can say. Yeah. But it's always some variable, interesting things happening.
Yeah.
Everybody in that lineup could perform, though. Those are all great artists.
Yeah.
Have you guys recorded?
We haven't recorded. No, we tour and perform as alumni.
Okay. So Monie, do you see yourself doing any movies? Have any contracts came and laid it on the table for you?
I've recently been approached with a few scripts, so I'm looking those over, and I have full intention of absolutely stepping into the world of screenplay, but my interest. Super huge, big interest is actually behind camera. And I just co-directed my first video, which was my own video for a new single that I just released a week ago called Divine, that features Sky Zoo, who's a young Brooklyn legend, and also Tough, who is my partner and on and Marriage Boot Camp with me. So we just shot the video last week. And I co-directed that, so that was my first taste of actually. Wow! Well, I love it, and I want to do more of that. So if it means initially I have to be in front of the camera and then work my way to the behind the camera, then so be it.
Well, I can see you playing a police officer somewhere.
When is it released? Is the video out?
No, the video's not out. We're in the editing phase now.
Okay. Now, so let me ask you this, Monie. My class, the editing class will be opening next week. We'll talk about that later. But look,
Khalil, got all these programs going. I'm not mad at him.
No, look, Monie, going into transitioning into radio. Right, transition into radio. Because that's you're doing terrestrial radio. That's correct, right? Terrestrial radio. Transition into that, and how are you loving that space right now? That's a space you can see yourself, in, because it's a platform. You get a lot. Your voice is heard. You get other people's voices be heard on your platform. How much that means to you, that radio transition?
Well, I mean, getting into radio, first of all, for me was a fluke because I didn't think I was going to be a radio personality ever. I remember when Hot 97 was first flipped to hip hop format, and that's when Steve Smith, who flipped that station to hip hop format, first approached me and was like, have you ever considered being on a radio? And I was like, why? I was like, right. Why? And then I was like, I don't know how to run radio. Like, you got to push buttons and you got to do stuff, and I don't know how to do that. And he was like, I'll train you. So I was like, I'm game for a laugh. Let me try this out. So, I trained. I got my FCC license. It's like, what's that now? You don't need an FCC license now. Like, what's that? Back then, you needed an FCC license to broadcast. And I began. It wound up being an additional piece arsenal in my bag list. Like, I really learned how to do this properly to the point where when things switched from like carts, popping in carts and
Cards, I know, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? When things switch from that to digital, I've learned like about 4 different digital systems over the years as radio has, you know, progressed.
You do your own board operating? You operate the board yourself?
Yeah, I've
God.
done mornings before where I would sit and there would be a producer that would run the board and other people in the room. But currently now with my show, no, I do my own production. I run my own board. I record my own commercials, edit my own commercials. You know,
Beautiful.
I run it. And to be quite honest with you, I enjoy it because what it does for me is it allows me to continuously add another skill to my skill belt.
Yeah, that's
important. You know, and I like that. I don't like to ever feel plateaued as far as learning. You can always learn something another day. Tomorrow you can learn something else, and the next day you can learn something else. I'm one of these people. I need that. I need the constant learning process to feed me.
Yes. You're never too old to learn.
No.
Hey, Monie, when you started like rapping, when you started rapping out here, right? This had to happen to you. I just feel this had to happen to you. People says, hold up, how come you talk like that? You rap like that? You get that out to people?
Do you know that that's still happening, even with marriage boot camp? Seriously, it's so funny because, and it's like I have to really take a step back and tiptoe through those moments because my initial instinct when I see these things, like I see comments for the marriage boot camp, like, why is this girl talking with a British accent, blah, 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 blah. And I have to take a step back because my instinct, first of all, is I'm going to confess. My instinct initially is condescending because I feel like, damn it, we're of a day and age now that you're supposed to have gotten off your block. You're supposed to have ventured outside your block by now, even if it's not physically, but by the internet, to know that there are Black people all over the world that sound different.
All over the world.
And in addition to that, when you're born in a completely different country, raised in a completely different country, and then move to another country, there are always things about where you were born and where you were raised that are going to remain with you. In addition to whatever you pick up from your new environment. So when I moved from the United Kingdom, when I moved from London to America, the first borough I lived in is Brooklyn. Okay, when I first got to the United States, I lived on a dead-end street off Flatbush Avenue called Westbury Court in a tenement building on Westbury Court, and that's where I lived. And I used to sit in the house and write rhymes every day and come out only to walk around the corner to the window at the pizza shop to get a slice and a lemon ice and go right the heck back upstairs and continue writing rhymes. That was my routine, right?
Wow.
Look at Idra Elbis. Same thing.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yeah, but I think I'm a bit different to Idris because I moved here when I was 17 years old, turning 18. So there's so much more that I picked up in my dialect and in how I speak than Idris. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
astute.
I'll get straight Flatbush on you in a hot second, like you've seen it on Marriage Boot Camp when he was when Tuck was like, oh, how did you see that some girl added me? That how did you know?
Yes.
You know, and you saw me, and people in the comments were like, yo, where did that accent go in 2 seconds? Because I tapped into my Brooklyn in 2 seconds flat. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, I saw it. If I'm following you, of course I see that shit. Like, I saw that.
Yes.
Hey, I just realized something. Hey, God, just make sure I'm not crazy. I'm just really thinking right now. Monie Love could have been the first British rapper to come to the States to start it off.
No.
Who was?
The Cookie Crew, and they're my big sisters. They got it. They
Cookie Crew.
Yeah, they were first.
Yes.
They were first, and they got signed to Def Jam. They were signed to Def Jam.
But they're a group.
Slick Rick as well.
And Slick Rick, but for us in England, we didn't even know that we had a Slick Rick when we did have him, and that's because he was a child. He wasn't even a teenager.
He was like 12. He's like 10 or 10 when he came over. Yeah.
Exactly.
He was like 10, 11 when he came
super
over.
young. Still
So
involved.
he wasn't spitting no bars in the club like you.
No.
So
we came up, Cookie Crew, me, we came up in what was happening in England when we were simulating what had already been happening in the United States. And we started developing a Brit-hop scene. And we came up in that first, before then being signed to US labels. So Cookie Crew, I believe, would be the first girls.
So I would say I say Monie Love is the first solo female.
Yeah.
Okay. You just want to say I'm the first at something, right?
Yeah.
I love Stevie. I love Stevie.
Listen. I mean, it counts. You know why? It counts. Because when we do, it's only 4 mothers of hip hop, right? It's only 4 of us. Sha-Rock is the mother, and I'm the first female hip hop soloist. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I'm Kool Herc's first female MC. So I'm the soloist.
Right.
When you talk about you coming up in this industry, you are the first London hip hop soloist with the accent. Absolutely.
I'll take it.
Yes.
Yeah, now hold
yes,
on.
that's true.
Look, let me do a Kyrie Irving crossover real quick on y'all. All right. Listen.
See, this is the clutch your pearls moment. Whenever Khalil starts talking.
Moni, you know Khalil's my brother, right? I don't know if you know that.
I did not, but I empathize.
Yeah,
that's my younger brother.
Moni, hey, ho, Beverly, stop laughing.
Come on, Khalil, let's have it, because I know you just be off the wall.
People be laughing, they disappear.
Just come on, breakfast.
Beverly, where did she go? Oh, there she go. All right, laughing, Beverly. Listen.
Go ahead, Khalil.
This is what he do when you laugh. He make you disappear.
Yeah.
No,
go ahead.
It's the ghost of Khalil, not Khalil. Look. Moni. Versus. You got to get your take on this, because
oh my God, I was dreading you asking me this. Don't ask me about Kane and Chris.
No. Guy, Rute, our family, from Virgin Records, from everywhere. He asked me in my text. I can show you. Make sure you ask Moni about Versus.
I never.
He said, whatever you do, ask her about. I'm only following his request.
But now that you asked. But now that you've asked.
Why must we? Why?
Hey,
like, why must we?
Listen,
like,
Moni, take it from this. Take it from this. Let's not talk about winners or losers. What did you feel about overall? What was your feeling about it?
And then go to the winners and losers. After that.
Yo, what does he have for breakfast, yo? Like,
I had running eggs and jumping sausages.
All right. So let's get to it. Okay. First of all, I was happy to see these 2 giants doing this. That was just number one. And to me, it appeared like, it's a battle in the sense of how us classic heads know a battle to be.
Right.
So we're definitely gonna have the F you moments and man, F you, I got this, and the bravado and all of that. So we're definitely gonna have that. But there was an unspoken and spoken high level of camaraderie on that stage that night. Like super high. You know what it was? It was like, yeah, we're gonna break each other's balls a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Say with the F you, we're gonna do that. But above all else, there is a ridiculously high level of camaraderie happening on this stage tonight. That's really what I saw. And it was the conversations leading up to it were actually quite funny. And I remember staying out of those conversations too. Because Chris got this and Chris got that, but Kane got this. And I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not getting dragged into this conversation for the simple reason that I'm not going to be split. I am not going to be split. These are 2 giants. To me personally, they are giant
Yeah.
And I get blackout moments with both of them. The one thing I can tell you about KRS-One though, I never wound up on a KRS-One lineup very often in my early career, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I wound up on a KRS lineup. We were all there, I think, right before the pandemic in Atlantic City at the that big show that happens in Atlanta.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the boardwalk, yeah.
Right? We all went. Did you guys go to sound check that day?
No.
I wasn't there.
We all went, everybody that was on that bill, and I mean Pebbly, it was damn near everybody. We all went to sound check. And sound check was great. And the sound sounded excellent.
Right.
But why is it that when Chris got on at the end, it sounded a whole lot different? It sounded like Godzilla walked in the building.
We spoke about this. Look,
we spoke about that.
Finish. I'm gonna let you finish, but let you finish. Okay.
I swear it was like the ground opened up.
That's what he does.
But we all went to sound check. Why my sound didn't sound like that?
Yo, I'm telling you, I've been on tour with this man. I've seen it, and I could not, and I kid you not. You know,
Chris
when
pays
he
a little
calls me
sound
out
and a
on
little
stage,
extra.
when he calls me out, it's like that.
You know what? And that show has just been put back on the. They just opened up tickets for that show again because it was an annual that stopped because of the pandemic, and they just put tickets out to sell again. Martin Luther King weekend in Atlantic City, right?
Yeah.
On the 16th. And again, alumni is on it once again. And I swear to God, I am going to camp out next to the sound man. Because I want to see if Chris is. I want to see if Chris is giving him.
Slip over
I want to
20.
see if that's happening.
Hey, Moni, let me
Yo,
say
that
this,
bass
Moni.
line, that bass line is sick.
No,
It's ridiculous. It's like the bass and the drums and everything, Khalil. It was like, I swear to God, Godzilla walked in and bitch slapped everybody that had previously been on the stage.
Yeah.
Hey, Moni, hold. Listen, hold on. Moni, my man Rob Love from Def Jam and what's his name? My guy Chase, they was at the Barclays. And they said every time Chris record came on, it was like the whole room was shaking.
See?
Yeah. It was
See?
like,
He's, you know what? He's paying them. He's paying them. He's paying them.
Listen.
I'm going to get to the bottom of it. He's paying somebody.
So do you think it's like that? It's the mix he got on his records, like he had a certain kind of mix he got just dedicated to that? Or?
No, I think it's the mix he has in his wallet.
Oh.
Listen,
Hey, KRS, I didn't say that, KRS.
Like,
You
I
know what I
swear to God, I'm going to walk up on Chris at the Atlantic City show on some Sam Jackson shit on some what's in your wallet.
Yo, yeah, listen.
He'd be like, make everybody sound good, just a little lower than mine.
Yeah, I'm going to tell the sound man. I'm going to be like, look, I want that KRS-One sound. I want that. That's what I want. How much is he? How much you charge for that? I want that KRS-One. Godzilla King Kong just walked in here.
That reminds me of the movie. Anybody see the movie? What's it about Queen? The group Queen. What's it called again?
Yeah.
You see at the Live Aid where the man came in and turned this shit up bigger than everybody's.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll see that.
That's what happened, man. Listen.
Yeah.
Because everybody else's sound was good. Don't get me wrong. Everybody else's sound was nice and crispy and clean and cut through, and monitors were great, everything. But when Chris came on, it was like, the beat is supposed to start right here.
Oh.
Because Chris headlining?
Huh?
Was he the headliner?
Chris headlining.
He was the headliner, yes.
Okay,
Morning.
That's
cutting the contract. That's in the contract. Everybody else sounds here. This point where it doesn't go past. I remember having you used to do that, man. I remember having you used to do that, man. It'd be like, your sound could be good, but there's a point where that sound better not go past, you know?
Now, Moni, I need your opinion on this.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody's chatting about it. who will be the right battle for Busta Rhymes?
I know.
No, dude, pick another one.
I got one for Busta. I want to see Busta and Missy.
No,
God, no.
That could work.
No, I disagree. I don't think that they should put the men and the women against each other.
Say what now? After everything we did, screw that gender crap. We too.
I know, but it's like you already know who gonna win. That's just it.
No, I don't. I don't
know who gonna win.
Oh my God.
I think Busta got a bigger
does
catalog
not
than
have as
Missy.
many hits as Missy. I'm in the Songwriter Hall of Fame. Elliott.
Yeah, I think that could
He
work.
does not have as many hits as Missy. You got to remember
a text from Missy.
Rap hits.
I got a text from Missy right now. She's watching the show.
Who?
Missy, hold on. Let me what she said. Missy said, "I will pimp slap Busta Rhymes to the ground."
She did not say that. You need to stop.
Okay. Thank you, Monie. Thank you.
Khalil, he's.
What happened to Monie? Because Monie was only a little while ago. We're going to figure out what happened to Monie. She was here a little while ago. Oh, there she goes. Monie, there she goes.
See, how I disappear. Okay, so if I say something that's non-savory considered by Khalil, I suddenly disappear. Okay, got it.
Yes. No.
You
I got the text from Guy. Guy said, if she say something, make her disappear. That's from Guy. That's not. Don't put this shit on me. Stop putting that bullshit on me. That's on Guy. The guy with the ball head. That's on him.
Listen. First of all, Kyle, you full of shit. Anyway, listen. The reason why I say Missy is because in terms of the level of out of the box zaniness, bigness, the videos, those kind of records, those kind of like infectious performance-based records, she's the only one I think that's even in the category with him. Then you add on her songwriting and producing stuff, and really nobody touches Missy. To be honest with you, nobody touches her.
I think that might work. She
start dropping Aaliyah records and 702 records, and come on, man. Like, Missy got it, man.
To be honest, and I'll say this really quickly because I do gotta run, guys. I think that's I would watch that as a fan of Versus. I would watch that and enjoy it for the simple reason that for me, it always has to be about the slapping catalog. Whenever they do these matchups, I don't care about breaking it down into man versus woman or whatever. It has to be, the catalogs have to be hefty.
People
that are versing each other, the catalogs have to be hefty.
I thought Busta and LL Cool J would be a good battle.
Yeah,
I like Missy and Busta better.
I do too.
All right.
Yeah.
That's me.
All right.
I don't think nobody want Missy.
I think. Listen. I think first of all, I think LL has definitely more energy than Missy on stage. So that's what I'm saying. LL's real, like, he's really
Have
animated on stage. Yeah.
Have you seen Missy perform? I don't know, man. You better
I love Missy's stage show. I love her stage show.
She can't match Busta's energy like that, though. I doubt that.
Yeah, but
I'm saying LL's closer.
Swiss Beats
LL's
is on here.
closer.
Oh, Swiss is on. Hold on a second.
Well, guys, I gotta
Moni
run. I gotta get myself together to head on in to do some production work.
Moni,
Moni.
It was a pleasure, Moni, having you here. Have a blessed day.
I love you.
Love you, Pebbly. Love you guys. Love Pebbly more.
Okay.
What? What she say? What she say? Oh,
she said she loved Pebbly more. We heard you. That's okay.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Take care now.
Bye.
Y'all be good.
Okay. Peace.